hunting hill forts once again. This time we are looking for Castle Craig, and this time we know that there has been excavations there. There's a connections to the Romans as well, and there's supposed to be a broch on top, or at the very least remains of it. So there we are, that's the hill fort right there. Now we just have to find a way up as well. We have a very interesting geology here. It's the Highlands in the distance. This is Perth down there, which cuts through and creates this rock face, and then the hill fort is right next to it. This is perhaps advantageous in defending it. So this is the side of the hill fort here. There was a quarry here which has destroyed parts of it, unfortunately, and it's making it quite steep here. So we will try to go around and find a way up. So this looks like a path up, doesn't it? There's Castle Craig right next to us, and there is another hill fort in the area which we will try to find later on. I think that's the one up there. There. And it's called Ben Effrey. So it's over there, they're part of the Ochil Hills, which I wanted to explore for quite a while now. So I'm sure we'll do even more exploring further on. So that looks like a top up there. As you can see, it's all been left to the sheep at this stage. Ah, you can see a wall. And there's some more over there. Let's see if we can spot the broch. Okay, so it's quite obvious. The top is indented and has a fairly round shape. So what do you know about this broch and this hill fort?
Not a massive amount. There's been some Roman era and Viking era artifacts found here, so some Samian ware as a type of pottery. And Norse, I think ring-headed pin has been found. So there's definitely some occupation during the 9th, 10th centuries. The reason that I wanted to come and visit this hill fort is because in Perth Museum there's a picture of a bunch of Roman soldiers overlooking the destruction of this fort. I don't know if that is based on the archaeology, if they found evidence of destruction here, or whether it's sort of like a dramatic imagining of what might have happened when the Romans were coming up this way. This is a broch. It's not like the other hill forts that we've been visiting, and presumably the other one we're going to visit today. This is like a very specific type of building. You do get brochs associated with hill forts, so it's not as if there couldn't have been other levels lower down, but this main part would have been surrounded by massive stone walls, much like the brochs that we saw in Shetland, which are much better preserved. As you can see here, there's hardly a trace of any of the walls. There's a few stones lying about around the perimeter, but
you can see a lot of the wall. It's just not as many stones as in other places.
Yeah, and you can see the general outline, but there's no the structure of the broch itself is gone. So,
do you see this line there leading up and then coming from over there?
Mm-hmm.
And there's stones in the middle.
Yeah, well there has been excavation here, so I'd say that this little bit in the middle is probably evidence of the excavation done in they did 3 excavations, I think one in 2011, 2012 and 2013.
Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Quite clear to see on the ramparts down there. And there's a way leading up here, so that could be a way up from the ramparts perhaps. So they have been excavating. They usually tend to cover it back over just to preserve it as best as they can. I just want to show you the heightened edges all around, so we're right in the middle of the dip. And there's quite a gentle slope coming down. Do you think that would have been the way up, or do you think it was on the other side?
It's hard to tell, but I think, yeah, this could have been the way down. Actually, yes, this bit here does look like it was a gate of some kind, just because it does slope down a little bit.
Yes.
So this could very well be the entrance that we've come up, because it's much more gradual than all the other sides of the hill, which are rather steep.
Here's the leftovers of the quarry, which is taken off some part of the hill on the side. There's a cow blocking the road. Let's hope it won't attack us. Be nice to us, cow. There's pheasants. Looks very sweet though.
Oh.
There's another one hiding. There's 3 of them. They look very young as well. That is so cute. Here's Castle Craig from the distance. So we are halfway up to some of the Ochil Hills, and we're on the way up there just now. This is the remains of a house right at the foot of this hill, and the flat surface here. Yeah, some kind of wall left over here. House up there. This place is very close to the Highlands, which are just over there. So this is technically part of the lowlands. So it's unclear whether the inhabitants would have been speaking Gaelic. Either way, it's quite a large area, so you've got a couple of rooms. There's one more room down by the end, and then there's an enclosure all around the area here. All these wall remains. We are going up this super steep hill, so you don't have to. That rock, that's not really part of a wall, that's scree, or larger stone that has broken apart through the influence of ice and heat in the summer. So that's the top of the hill right here. It was a very steep way up. I'm sure there's a better way to get up here. So that's the top. And the top is actually very flat, so there's a high likelihood that this was also part of the hill fort. There's what looks to be like the remains of a wall over there. And then the second peak may have been part of it. Good view. And now you can see the other hill fort down there as well. There it is. That top could have definitely been used to build houses. The question is then, why would anybody live up here? It's really remote and really steep. So this is one of these hill forts where it is really inaccessible if you want to get here. Hillfort confirmed. So why do you think it's so inaccessible?
It could have been a ritual site, it could have been only used every now and then for a specific purpose. It could have been just that this is where the people around here would flee to if things got really bad down in the Strath there, in Strathearn, and they just really needed to get away from that. But it is difficult to explain some of the more inaccessible hill forts because most of them do tend to be fairly accessible. This one is not.
Here's me on top of the wall. Some rock remains. And you can sort of see how it leads all the way around. It almost looks like the remains of a house. From another angle, and it looks like it could have been part of an entrance gate. That's the top up there. And that's probably the way up. It's not the way we came, but that's the way we're gonna go down. A much better view of the hill fort. And you can see the remains of the wall quite clearly now. And this round bit next to it, there's nothing to be seen here, so it could have been part of it, or perhaps not. It's fairly flat either way, so maybe. You can see the homesteads down there. Just to conclude, I somehow don't think this was the way up. This is very steep. So likely you would have come from the other side, because there's some lower lying hills, as you could see from the top, which would have been likely used for people to come up. Such peculiar location for a hill fort though. Jackdaws.